How should we conceive of these things? How should we put them into our statements? If you were to deny one of those 7 statements in our statement of faith, you could not claim to be an Orthodox Christian. All are important, but we need to categorize them appropriately. All right, welcome to CBC Question and Answer. This question in regards to the Scriptures. The signers of the Chicago Statement on Biblical Inerrancy included postmillennialists Francis Lee, Greg Bahnsen, John Davis, R.C. Sproul. It also included amillennialists and premillennialists. There was unity regarding inerrancy, but diversity regarding the millennium. Did CBC previously reject any but the premillennial view? Do exclusionary positions like this make unity more difficult? So this question acknowledges something very good, and that is that you can hold to the doctrine of inerrancy and still have diversity of opinions regarding some fairly significant things, like, let's say, Calvinism versus Arminianism, end times views, spiritual gifts. There will be diversity on these things, even though the doctrine of inerrancy is upheld. And I think that is a very important point to make, a very important distinction, that we can be biblical in the sense that both we believe it to be the Word of God and we're deriving arguments out of the text and still come to different interpretations or conclusions. So this might even be a caution to some to not use the word unbiblical to refer to someone coming to a different conclusion than you come to, if in fact they're making an argument from the text. Unbiblical would be affirming something the Bible clearly denies. But we can be both biblical in that we are trying to be accurate to the text, but we come to different conclusions. Now, the millennial views, the 3 millennial views mentioned in this question, are all within the realm of orthodoxy and all extend from people who in fact very dearly hold to the doctrine of inerrancy. So as it relates to a local church, how should we conceive of these things? How should we put them into our statements? Most recently, what we have done is we have created a statement of faith. That is 7 statements. They're very simple, and they all are part of what it means to be orthodox in terms of your Christian faith. So in other words, if you were to deny one of those 7 statements in our statement of faith, you could not claim to be an Orthodox Christian. So we have made that kind of the bar for membership. If you would like to be a member at Cypress Bible Church, then you need to affirm every one of those 7 Orthodox statements. Our doctrinal statement is a much more detailed statement, and that refers to our teaching position. And the reason that one might ask the question, well, why put any view when it regards to the millennium? Why have maybe just a really simple, broad statement, Jesus is going to return? Why do we have to take a position? And the answer there simply refers to the fact that if we are going to move through a book of the Bible and teach through books of the Bible without taking a particular stance on this issue, it's going to be very confusing, especially if you're vacillating from one teacher who comes from a postmillennial view, one teacher who comes from an amillennial view, and another teacher who comes from a premillennial view. The way those texts are taught will be vastly different. And so just to maintain a sense of unity, a sense of coherence, and just so we can understand an entire theological system from top to bottom, we have developed coherency, we hope, in our doctrinal statement, and that will be our teaching position at the church. So yes, you do not have to hold to those more detailed positions to be a member, but those will be the teaching positions of our church, both on Sunday morning, but also in our teaching environments in Sunday school and elsewhere. So hopefully that helps to do what's called doctrinal triage, where we take the most important doctrines in the center and then acknowledge that there are some secondary and even tertiary doctrines that are on the outside. All are important, but we need to categorize them appropriately. So hopefully that helps.